Hello. Yeah, welcome to my not-so-humorous healing journey. So if you've joined me, it's because you've been scouring the internet like me for anything to help you through your humerus shaft break. And like me, you're probably finding that information's really hard to find. I don't know why. There's tons of stuff on the shoulder, tons of stuff on well, not so much, more on the shoulder than the elbow. Because apparently the elbow is a really hard bone to break, except I met somebody who broke both of her elbows. One healed, she broke the other. So it is possible you could break your elbow. But the humerus shaft, you'd think would be more common. There's very little out there. A few things posted by orthopedic surgeons, a few things posted by physio people, mostly post-op stuff. But no one who's gone through it and can tell you the straight goods. So I will link week 1 video in the links down below. Today, I am celebrating making it through 2 weeks. Yay! Yay! It's been tough. And if you're with me, or if you're in week 2 or just starting week 2, let's just say I feel a lot better than I did 7 days ago. But yes, I've had a few scares. So I'm going to here to tell you about the good, the bad, and the downright nasty. So good. What's been good? I can look, I can lean forward. I can lean forward. And as long as I kind of keep my elbow directed at the floor, it doesn't hurt. It's a little stiff in there. So I'm working on the stiffness. And in fact, I can't really show, so I'm set up in a different place so you can see more of me, but I don't think I can really show you. One of the exercises that you're supposed to do in week 2 is take your arm out of your sling, let it dangle by your side. By the way, if you're in the right posture, when you put your shoulders down and back, so they're down in the pockets, your arm, if it's in the right position, should hang, and your hand, you will notice it's in the right position if your hand is facing in towards your body. So just dangling loosely at your side, hands facing towards your body. If they're at all curled and you can see the backs of your hands in a mirror, that's not good. That means that your shoulders are kind of curled in. And you shouldn't see the palms of your hands. That's overdoing it, I think. But yeah, when I stand, so this is the good. When I stand in front of the mirror and I let my arms dangle, my hands are both facing in. I checked because I was worried about this. Are they still the same length? Are my arms still length? They look like they're still the same length. So yay, there's that. And so that's good. That's a good sign. I'm just gonna get the, yeah, we do what we can. I used a sock behind my neck. So this is an exercise that the doctor gave me to do. You want to just dangle your arm. So you want to lean over. Oh, I'm going to lose you. But basically, your hand is just dangling there, and you're keeping your arm just loose. And when it's dangling there, you start to do little rotations, little circles. Nothing big. And don't push anything. This is not about speed or anything like that, but just little circles. So I've been doing 20 in one direction, and then I've been reversing and doing 20 in the other, just being very gentle. There shouldn't be any clicking, any nastiness. If there is, stop, reposition, try it again, be good to you. One thing that I did see that I looked up on video, and that was more on shoulder recovery, but it's working for me. I'm doing it. Just remember, my break is awfully close to the biceps. I'm being very careful about this. But so I'm using my other hand to guide me, and I'm just bringing my arm up with palm facing up. I'm bringing my arm down. And that's, I'm letting my palm face inward when I bring it down, because otherwise it hurts my shoulder. Up, and I'm rotating down, I'm rotating back. And I'm doing that movement. Here's a good thing. Watch this. See if I can do it now. Careful though. Careful. Don't strain anything. So that does put a little pressure on where the end of my break is. And the end of my break, it's down. It's down in here somewhere. I can feel it. Yeah. So I'm not on painkillers right now. Another good thing. So look at that. End of week 2, I can get through the day without taking a single painkiller. It hurts. Yeah. But I'd rather know what hurts and what doesn't so I don't overdo it. Because here's a sneaky thing that's happening in week number 2, but halfway through, your right hand thinks it can do stuff that it can't. Well, if you've injured your right side, that's my dominant hand. It's used to taking control. And so it keeps jumping in and trying to do stuff. And I have to keep telling it, no, it's lefty's turn. It's lefty's turn to shine. You know what I'm discovering? Another good thing. You can do a lot with your left hand. I have been able to do up my own bra with my left hand. Only one of my, I try to bunch, but yeah, there's one I can do, and that means when it's in the wash, I'm kind of out of luck. But I can do it up with one hand. I can take it apart with one hand. Yay! So victory, celebrate all the victories, and don't commiserate about what you can't do. Just go, oh, look, I can do this. Oh, look, I can do that. And there's more to come as the weeks go on. So yeah, we can let our arm out of the sling. Just be careful when you have it out of the sling that you don't swing it around. Don't go for a walk with it out of the sling. That's a bad thing. I probably a couple of days ago couldn't have gone for a walk, but today I had to because I had a Life Labs appointment for my thyroid, yay, and I had to get there. I had no choice. So I tried the evil sling that you saw before that has the transport bandage, so my arm wouldn't flop forward, flop forward, flop forward. That was awful. My elbow hurts like crazy. I will tell you why in a little bit. But yeah, just my old makeshift, straight from all of my first aid supplies, homemade coloring cuff. There it is. Yeah, it worked. And then I walked holding my shoulder. So I walked all the way there. Normally it takes me 15 minutes. I walk fast. I tried walking fast. And even though I thought I was walking fast, it took me 5 minutes longer. So leave extra time if you're going to go for a walk. Be careful when you go for a walk. You don't want to jostle too much because it's still not solid. So that's kind of the bad. It's still not solid. Nothing, like things are moving, and every once in a while when you do a wrong move, you hear a click, which is really unnerving. But keep in mind that this is the stage it's in. All this collagen plus minerals and other things are in their enzymes are working way, and they're doing stuff. They're working on the healing process. They're building bone. There's a lot to repair in there, and they're doing their work, and they're going to build up. By the end of week 3, according to the science guy that I was watching, by the end of week 3, you have a callus in there, but it's still mushy, which is why when my doctor didn't even take new x-rays, it just went off the original x-rays after 1 week and told me to come back 2 weeks later. I went and I scoured the internet for whatever I could find about what is the science. Yes. So take heart. They do know what they're doing. At the end of week 3, which is actually, it's going to be the beginning of week 4, I'm going to go back to him. And he, at that point, should be able to, it should be kind of gooey, but sticking like there, it's, but still moldable. And he will be able to manipulate anything that is out of place into the right position. But if you keep wearing collar and cuff, then let gravity work its magic. Gravity's really strong. Then this will keep on pulling itself into the right position. So, some bad things I miss. I miss driving. I miss being able to pop into my car and go for a drive. I miss the mobility, but good thing. It has made me really rethink this whole idea of being self-reliant and not dependent on anyone else. I think there's a song by Barbara Streisand, people who need people are the luckiest people in the world. I need people. And so that's caused me to reach out and ask for things, ask for help, ask what people are doing, ask, do you want to come over for dinner? Oh, by the way, you're cooking. You know, things like that I would never, ever, ever have imposed on anyone. I would have felt awful. But you know what? Your friends, your family, they're happy to help. Usually, for the most part, they're happy to help. They've got their life patterns, and I get it. You know, when I'm in my life patterns, I can't just drop everything and change everything. But think of yourself. If one of your friends called you up and asked for a favor and they were incapacitated, you would do it, and you would feel good about doing it. So if you're like me and you're very independent and you're very self-reliant and you're not used to asking for favors, deep breath, deep breath. This will build your character. This will make you better in the end. Just trust the process. So there's that. The other things I miss, I miss going for walks. I used to, finish my day, go for a walk. I've got this little walking challenge that I'm on, and I'm falling behind. I was so far ahead. I was like 100 and whatever kilometers ahead of where I needed to be. And now I'm watching my gains slowly disappear. So that's upsetting. Things I miss. Having a restful sleep, like being able to go to sleep and fall asleep and just wake up refreshed. Now I dread sleep. So you probably, you get me, right? Because when you're upright, gravity's taking care of things. You've got traction. When you go to sleep, all bets are off. So if you're trying to sleep upright in a chair, you're not upright. And you wake up like half an hour later in pain. It's not good. That whole recliner thing, they need a better plan. I've tried everything. It doesn't work. So I try. I get whatever sleep I can sitting up. And then I try propping myself up in bed. And then I'm just so exhausted, and I try and jury rig things so that I can somehow lay down and support the arm and hope I don't mess with anything in here. But remember the good. Nothing solid. It is all repairable. This is temporary. So just don't do anything nasty. So the ugly. Ice. If you do not ice, bad things are going to happen. So by the way, if you are a company that cares about your people and you have anything to do with fitness or outdoor or health or anything, these excellent promotional products. They are very useful, and people, if they're smart, will never ever throw them away, and they will think of you fondly when they're injured and think, oh, look, the 5 Peaks people care about me. Oh. So yeah, I've been rotating my ice packs like crazy now, because on night number 12, I had a real scare. It was nighttime. I had been up. Maybe I overdid it. I had spent a lot of time on the computer, doing my work, doing other stuff after work, and other stuff after that. And I had maybe let too much just flow down. Gravity had done bad things with all of that fluid. It had pulled it in my elbow. It had pulled it in my upper arm so badly that okay, so you see my fingers. That had already been happening because it would swell up, and then when the swelling would go down, it would still be there. But this time, they were huge, fat. I had this big lump on the back of my hand, and my wrist was massive. My arm weighed a ton. My elbow throbbed, like throbbed. My forearm, you couldn't even touch, like just. And then my hand started to tingle. My elbow is tingling. My arm is tingling. And then everything stopped. I mean, stopped. I mean, you could have taken a pin and poked the end of my finger with a sharp, pointy pin. You could have broken skin and I would not have felt it. And that is a limb threatening situation. Now, if that happens to you, go to the hospital. I don't have somebody with me. I know my first aid. I know the hospital waits. I know in the time that it took to get an ambulance here, although they're really quick, but then the ambulance drivers could have probably propped me up with something, could have helped. But then you get in, get seen by something. I thought, you know what, I'm going to take my chances. Let's see what happens in the next 10, 20 minutes. And if nothing improves, I go. So I thought, screw it. We're going to defy gravity. And I have got to get my elbow above my heart. And I've got to get my wrist above my elbow. And so it was a painful, horrible, gut wrenching process. I did what I could to stabilize this first. And then I got set up. So I put a blanket under my arm, tucked it way up there, like not a fluffy blanket, a hospital hard blanket. I don't think the hospital knows we took one, but yeah, we did. Anyway, I shoved that hospital blanket up under my arm so that it was also supporting my entire hand, and I could move my whole forearm, my hand as a unit. And then I got pillows strategically placed, and then got into bed, laid back, and then rolled and held everything in place so I could move my whole axis as one unit over to my side and lay down on my good side with my bad side elevated. So immediately that gets your elbow up above your heart. But then I had to get my wrist up above my elbow, which this movement, not good, not good at all. And that was painful and awful. And it was slow, and I had to take time. And then my arms started slipping. So I had to get up, and I had to get up and start all over again. And I took a tensor bandage, and I made a loop around my arm right up here, looped that around the blanket and around the pillow. So it came down underneath the pillow. And then when I went back and tried this whole process again and rolled over to my good side, then I could yard on the tensor bandage to yoink is a word, yoink my upper arm from here to create traction and keep my elbow up toward where I wanted it to go and keep it staying there. So I yarded on that thing and held that thing because, tensor bandages are stretchy. That was a bit of a challenge. And then got the pillows in place so that I could also then elevate my wrist above my elbow. And I got it as far up as I could because I knew I was in danger. 10 minutes later, my fingers are tingling again. Okay, good sign, good sign. 20 minutes later, I'm poking and I'm getting better feeling. Okay, that's a good sign. And about 3/4 of an hour later, I'm testing it and my wrist is shrinking. Okay, scary, 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 scary. So if you take nothing away, don't get lax on your ice. I even I even had the cold little eye thing out, anything, everything, and I was rotating them, and I have religiously been icing ever since because you cannot let that swelling get too high. It is dangerous, very, very dangerous. So don't be like me. Do not let it get to that point. That is super scary. So that was the ugly. Um, things are getting better. Things are looking up. I have more energy. There are days, there are moments where I just feel completely drained. And so give yourself the space to do what you can when you can, relax when you can't. And I know, relax. That's what a terrible word. Yeah, good luck relaxing. There is no relaxing. Like I am most comfortable when I'm standing up, but how long can you stand? Yeah, I gotta sit. And if I'm sitting, if I lean back, it starts to hurt. No, because so there's no sitting and relaxing. Sitting on my exercise ball is more comfortable than sitting in my recliner. And then my core is always activated. So there is no rest. You will be tired. You will just long for a good night's sleep, like I do. Um, chin up. This too shall pass. Think of all the things you're learning about your how to listen to your body, um, how to how to like get your friends and family to do stuff for you, um, empowering your other hand to do so much. If it's especially if it's your non-dominant hand, um, this one's been a bully. I gotta say, giving the left a chance. It can do so much more than I've ever let it do. So yay, yay you. I believe in you. Oh yeah. So that's and it's a good analogy for leadership too. If you're always doing everything and you're always rescuing, you're always making things okay, and you don't let other people handle things and trust them, even though it's going to be awkward, it's going to be slow, it's going to be messy, it's going to, not be as good. That's okay. Being okay with good enough. Good enough. All right. Better. Give it a try and encouraging people to do more. So I'm encouraging my left hand to do it. You've got this left hand. You've got this. You can do this. Instead of whining over, man, I can't. Pity parties will happen. Keep them brief, 30 seconds, and then you're done. Okay, have a little when you hit your elbow on a doorknob and you're tempted to just give up. It's just not worth it anymore. Because yeah, that funny bone on the doorknob, when it hurts, 30 seconds, 30-second pity party, have a little cry, rail to God, whatever it is, and then whew, okay, so that happened. You can't prevent absolutely every danger out there. I'm not going to run around and put bubble wrap on all of the doorknobs. I'm just trying to be a little bit more careful. And the big thing, slow down. Everything is going to take more time. It is what it is. And everyone will forgive you. So I was 5 minutes late for no, 4 minutes late for my Life Lab appointment because it usually takes me 15 minutes to get there. And I thought I'd leave extra time, but I actually only left 16 minutes. So I arrived 4 minutes late. 4 minutes late is not going to kill anybody. It is what it is. And as soon as they saw me and I said, yeah, I had to walk here, they went, you walked? Yeah. So, all right, celebrate the win. I walked. I walked. I did. I walked. Yay. I'm looking forward to week 3, to what week 3 has to offer. I'm still sleeping with my arm elevated. It's awful getting it into that position, but I still haven't drained everything out of my elbow. It still hurts. And I really, really, really need it all to be gone. So, so yeah, keep up your ice, keep up the good work, keep up your chin. And it is an adventure, and I'm there with you. I get it. So feel free to make a comment about your journey. Love to hear it. Take care. Be well. See you at the end of week 3.